Right, so now we know this is social e-commerce and AI-powered analytics platform. And the first thing I'm going to take you through in one step is, share on, that's great, is the one click. So now, one of the big things that we as a business thought about when we were creating this checkout is the fact that the current website shopping cart underperforms, there's low conversions. And to put some context to that, 77.3% of all online orders are abandoned in shopping carts. Actually, that data can be updated to last year, this year, because it's the same. And any brand I've spoken to all echo this as the biggest challenge that they have. If you look at the numbers in another way, 86% of all e-commerce traffic comes from social media, but only 1% conversion rate. So that's like pretty poor. So there's a lot of chat here. So here, the big thing I want to take you through is 3 times increase in conversions when you are using the instant checkout, because we're really taking it from this 6 to 11 steps down to the one click. So this is on Facebook, but I will give you an Instagram example as well. So imagine you've got your logo, your image here of the product. You click on it, you have the image, short description, you can have a few images, short description, credit card details, postal address, click, drop down, and you put it into context. This here is the process on Instagram and on the moment, which as you can see is quite lengthy. And we kind of make a decision pretty much in the moment when we're going to buy. The more steps there are, the more realistic we come to, do we have the money in the bank? Should we pay for something else? Is this a want, a need, etc. So here it's really capturing that consumer in the moment, which is really, really key. The checkout can be literally put anywhere. So we do a lot in social media. We also use it in search. We've brought digital magazines alive from Marie Claire. It's really, really cool. Think of the website. When you're looking at clothes, you can just put a checkout behind it. Online websites and videos. Here, this is Instagram, right? And here's the 3 areas, because the question that you have to start thinking about now is how do we apply the actual checkout? And I will take you through a demo of it, but I just want to give you the landscape view of it as well. So here you've got the link in bio. Whenever you see the product, as with any experience you have with Instagram, the influencer is taking you through with the content she's created or he's created, and then they'll often say link in bio. So you go to that and that'll be the checkout. Swipe up from stories is another good way to put it, and shoppable tags behind the actual tags. Now, what we have seen as pretty much an average across the board, we've seen 300% increase in sales when it's link in bio, a swipe up from stories. It's up to 500 or higher with behind the shoppable tags. It's really strong when it's behind the shoppable tags. Here we go. Let me give you an example. Make sure that I'm out of the way. Here is an Instagram story. Just takes a second. So here we go. Scrolling. See a product. I like the product. Magnesium flakes. Actually, this is a customer of ours who bought repeatedly with us. It's just that simple. The simplicity of it is what's really quite wonderful. Quantity, we can customize the checkout. This is what it looks like. It's literally a checkout that pops up immediately. This goes on a little bit, but let me see if I can speed it up. That's the details gone in, and that's the thank you page. Really, really simple. The link in bio, same thing. You just put the link into the bio. So it's really, really simple. If anybody has any e-commerce clients and anybody would like to see a demo for a particular client or a brief, just let me know. I can create demos really easily. And the reward scheme. So this is set up the rewards for influencers. This works really, really well. So to give you a bit of background again, Persola's been around for the last 5 years. The team, they're in Australia, but the builders are all in Ukraine. All of the business that we have previously to me working here in the UK and EMEA has been around Australia and Asia. So we've got tremendous success in all of those countries. Huge part of our offering is the affiliate rewards. So if you have a product you can give a client, you can get it into commission. So whatever the cost of that is, they'll take a fee out of it. So in here we've got some 10%, 15%. It could be have a product. So there's different ways that you can work the reward scheme. But usually in this case, you're not paying for the actual content itself. So we've got here, run affiliate campaigns, set up flexible, track. So it's all about the tracking system as well. And you can enjoy automatic payments through the influencer's account. And actually one point that I didn't make actually with the instant checkout is the e-commerce element to the platform as well. So Persolo is PCI DSS level 1 service compliant. So what that means is it's one of the most stringent, it's the most stringent level of payment certificates you can get. We work in a number of different ways. If you're integrated with Shopify, we're integrated. So that's like, you just turn that on within the platform. If you are set up with Stripe payments, so are we. So again, let's set that up. Think of PayPal, how you use it. It's so simple. You just connect to somebody's name. So I kind of like it too. PayPal is what kids use, Stripe is what the businesses use. If it's a small enough business, we can just connect bank accounts. So that's good. So it's all within the e-commerce element of the platform. That's the one-click checkout and the affiliates. Very important. Now we're going to look at discover and analyze influencers. So we do have a directory of over 110,000. The thing with our directory is we add to it all the time, but as we come on to the analytics side of it, we can just take a URL of an influencer's post or profile and add that into the actual platform as well. And we don't need permission. It's all public. So the side of things is literally a classic filter to find out who the influencers are. So you just jot down on that, which is pretty straightforward. Analyzing the influencer. And here, rather than taking through any more slides, this is where I go to here. So this is the actual platform itself. There we go. I'm just double checking that I am actually sharing this. Yeah. So this is the actual platform itself and what it looks like. I've got my account, home, my store, the campaigns are running, the analytics. I'll actually give you a little example of the store before I take you into the analytics. And even though I've got many different clients here, what I've just done is a little setup for today, so I can go to my products under me. Now I've got a number of different business products under here because I don't actually sell anything myself. But these are a few really interesting things. I'll take you through Avon. So this is what the checkout like. We as a business create this for for our clients. So we've got different images. We have the description and then the cost and the checkout. So this is what it looks like on a web page, but actually you go back to that picture I showed you back here. Yeah, it's going to be as simple as that whenever it's in the platform itself. So that's what the store looks like. Now let's look into, so you've got the influencer analyzer, so we've kind of looked at that on the screens, but this is where I want to spend our time. On the post analyzer, excuse me. So instead of launching, you can just get any handle or a post link and drop it in here. If they're on the platform, they'll come up really quickly. If not, it can take up to 24 hours, but it can ping me if you have an influence you want to look into, and I can pull that for you. And here I'm just going to bring up Claire. She's on magnesium oils. So this is a client who works with us all the time, and actually we just did a little demo with her the other day. So I've got this nice and handy ready. So the main engagement. So first you've got 3 areas that we're going to look at for the post analyzer: post insights, the profile itself insights, and the profile audience insights. So the main engagement metrics, here you get this from an influencer if you're working with them, but you know, how many likes, how many comments. This here, the engagement rate, this is really, really strong, 6.26, and it says hi, Bingo, it's great. The number of influencer total followers and influencer total posts. So there we go. It's great to be able to pull the top line information from it here. And then we work with many different clients, and the needs of clients really do vary. Here we're looking at to make sure that when you do influencers posts, so here we have the creative, you look at the extracted labels of the post. So we've got tree, bottle, plant, and it really does vary whether that's important to have in it or not. And it depends. When you work with made.com, you want to make sure for the sofa campaign we've got sofa in it. Also, same with the colors. When we work with Bacardi, and here the color is really, really important. So that, like I said, will really vary on the client. But one of the really important things I've seen in influencer marketing, because if you see any trade press on influencer marketing, marketers and brands' biggest concern is around safety. And here, is the image safe? Any adult violence or anything as such? And here we've got all the green indicators. I have seen when there's a saucy, it could be underwear, and in which case you can start pinging over towards the red or the yellow. So these are really nice, important reassurances for any brand. Now here, coming back to this line here, we've got the colors, the extracted text from the posts as well, and then the caption itself. So we're just ticking boom, making sure that whenever we evaluate a campaign for a brand, we can say we've had all the right hashtags, we've got the right color in there, it is safe, and we'll go on to more safety shortly. It's quite important. We have an image safety index, and this is 100% safe, so that's great. This part here, so we've got that image, great. Here we go. This next part, the caption analyst, the post analyzer. Here we look at see if the caption and the sentiments. We look at whether the sentiment is positive or not positive. It's very interesting when you run a campaign. You want to make sure that you may have chosen an influencer based on their audience. But does the audience really resonate with the brand message that you're telling and that you're getting across? And that's really, really important for a brand. And here you can say, absolutely, we've got super positive in the caption and absolutely positive in the comments. So again, another seal of approval for the brand. Now, profile insights. This is where you can see where the algorithm and the data becomes incredibly rich again. So we follow now, you'll check this date. The follower count is from the first time we add them to our platform. To do retrospective is build work. We can't do it with a tremendous amount of, well, it just means it's not automatic. So whenever we pull an influencer's handle, add it onto the platform, we start to collect that data. Like I said, so here these guys were added on in 2013. And we get to see a really steady growth. Now, why is this important, and why do you want to look at this as a brand? We've seen before where you get big spikes here, and that's where you want to make sure if you're working with somebody, you ask them what's happening in their life. Sometimes influencers buy followers. We're seeing less of that, but it does happen. It could be something that they've done tremendously interesting in the public eye, in which case naturally there'll be a lift. Actually, I should have added on Victoria Eames. I don't know if you know her or not, and I mentioned her in my last webinar. Victoria Eames, she's a mother and she's at home and she's very entertaining, and she's got some entertainment gold for us when she did I Will Survive. And then she was all over all the newspapers, and actually I will, out of my own curiosity, add her to the platform and have a look at her as a spike, because naturally you'll see a spike after her activity. How big? Let me find out. And following here is quite interesting. I love data personally. It always tells a story. And here we're going across the same timeline. This is her following. She clearly did a clean up on who she was following. That could have been around what the content she's curating. It could have been she just wanted to follow less people and have a cleaner grid when she's looking at it. A big drop here and another drop here. I mean, if you're working with influencers, you can always ask them any questions. So I'm quite curious about that nice big drop. Here now we're looking at the profile engagement layer, right? So not just about the post itself, the actual profile. Yep, here we've got her likes, her average comments. She's mediums, that's really good. The last post resonated really well because we saw it was high, and here's medium's great, so that's really good. And the average post per week is pretty strong actually. And here we index the influencer by group, nanos, micros at different levels, macros and supers. So here we go. So it's really useful when you pull a PDF from the platform and just give it to the client. This is where we all sit. We analyze the profile engagement rates for the last 12 posts. So the average is medium, which is really strong. Here we look at sort of detail. We've got engagement rates, average likes, average comments per 100 likes. And here, last 7, and last 12 posts. And we're kind of going down here, which is really interesting. But we're looking at the average comments is going up. So it's all, you just look at this whenever you look at the data when you're planning a campaign, and obviously you also want to look at the campaign results as well. So post, so you interrogate the data quite differently depending on what you're actually doing. And when you're working with influence for the first time, using this data is really important to sort of ask the right questions. I mean, here it's quite interesting because we're all in, because we are in the global pandemic, and every influencer report I pulled was really down, and I think the engagement rates was just a bit low. We're going to start seeing that coming back up in the next few weeks because we're all kind of looking at social media and life that bit differently than the reaction we had a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So you look at the data around what's happening in the world, what's happening with the influencer, and with you as a brand in mind as well. Here, I find this really useful. So anybody who's working with brands, it has the brand mentioned, so you can see who they're working with. I think that's really quite powerful data. Now we've gone through the post, profile insights, and now we're going to look at the profile audience insights. Okay, so active audience gender split, we've got 41%, 42% male, and 58% female. I've seen some really interesting things before. There's this amazing female influencer. She drives up cars, she wears fabulous makeup, she's pretty hot, and I've seen her being used for female products, and the story all lent itself really, really well, but at the time it wasn't that easy to get this particular data, and whenever the data came out, we realized there was no women following her, it was all men. So it's really, really a great story, and they might lend themselves to work with the narrative that you have for the campaign. But if the data doesn't marry, then you're kind of, well, I think it's really important to make sure that you've got the data to make sure that you're resonating with your target audience. Here, this is, I think, one of the most important parts of the platform, and something that I feel brands talk about continuously and not enough people are actually reporting on it, and it's active audience type. So here what we do is we look at whether the follower count is real or not real. Okay, so we've got here, this green is real people, which is 82%, which is fantastic, because nowadays, I'd say a year and a half ago, if we saw 95%, less than 95% of real people, it was a red flag. Now, depending on the size of the influencer, if they're, well, I think into the macro stage especially, you're happy if it's 70% real people. We've got influencers, so this is audience accounts that look like influencers themselves, accounts with strong following, and this is that light bar. This is actually great because these have got a larger sphere of influence. That's the way to look at it. So here, these are the real people you're targeting, but if your product resonates and you get any follow-on from that, you're growing that reach. It's really important. These two, there's good. We don't have any suspicious accounts in here. I'm going to start first, which is posts, no posts or less than 3 posts, no followers or less than 30 followers. It's basically where you can see there's no activity, and it's definitely a bot. Here, we've got mass followers that they're really, it's also suspicious accounts. And to explain what that is, audience accounts who are following more than 1,000 other people, but at the same time don't have strong following, and it's more than likely to be bots or fraudulent accounts. That's 7%. That's quite low. That's okay. And I think to remember about bot activity. Influencers don't ask for this to follow them. You know, it is a problem of the space digital itself. But making sure that influencers are clean up their account and manage here. Yeah, what we also do is audience quality score, AQS. And here we've got very good. And the way we look at it, 71 out of 100. Very good audience quality of real people. Above average activity, no suspicious likes or comments. In some rare instance, likes and comments authenticity could be approved. Bronze award. So that's what we've got here. So we look at all of that information through the algorithm. And here we've already talked about how we get the age, and this we're looking at 70% between the age 26 and 35. We look at by country, you've got the map, we've got the global market percentage, country list, and city. I really like the city because I feel like here in the UK, we work with quite a few people and they do regional activity. We all know, or maybe we don't, good information for people to know. Whenever it comes to like display advertising, you can geo-target. Here we can't, we don't have the ability within the space as such, but so what you look at is what's the best percentage in favor of where you're targeting. Campaign is run with our Australia team. Pretty good news. Right, this here, more information I absolutely love. Active audience by hour. Do you know your influencers, your working with? Are you setting the time for when your posts are going out, and do you look at when their audience are most active? That's really important information to marry up, because a lot of people go, we'll do a 4 o'clock campaign. Well, in this case, you don't want to do that. You want to be at 9 o'clock because that's when they're most active. So you want to get the greatest bang for your buck when you're paying money for a post, to make sure you are releasing a post when they've got the most audience there. Rich data, really important to be strategic when you're working with influencer marketing. Hashtags, so you can just look at what hashtags that they're actually working in the space, and there's a resonate, and you working with an influencer that will resonate with the message that you want to deliver to your audience. Now, this is something fairly new and it's fantastic. So for anybody working with influencers, right, and I've run many a campaign, and whenever I'm doing the invoices for a campaign, if I look at the content, all of the content looks beautiful. We've done a really great job. We've worked with wonderful influencers. They listen to the brief and the execution is great, but I could be paid £250, or I could pay £9.5 grand or 15 grand for what looks like the same content. Now the content, the cost comes down to their name, the number of followers, how clean their data is, and the sentiment, their average engagement rate. So you look at all of this data and you pull it together, and that's how the influencers know their market rate, or the higher up they go. And so I'm telling you that because of the cost of the content, and I'm going to play around with those numbers. But before I do that, I'm going to take you through exactly what this part is about, the audience of value calculation. So here we're looking at the worldwide figures for followers, percentage of followers, quality of the followers, which if we go back to removing out the mass followers and suspicious accounts, this is the quality, what we feel like this is really what you're planning on paying for. Don't cost. And here, right, so there's Australia states. Let's just stick with Australia. This is my founders, and where the campaign is for in this case. Let's say it was a micro, and they paid £250 for the content. £150. Now, whenever if you're working with a media agency or the brand manager itself, the brand manager is looking at the biggest campaigns, and they have to evaluate the numbers, and the biggest thing they're looking at is TV versus digital. Now we're bringing in content because influencer marketing is an evaluation in the mix, and to make a client's life easier is really quite powerful. And here we're saying this cost of content based on the numbers of their followers is an average CPM of £21. So for a brand campaign, that's okay, a little bit high. Let's just say it was 2,500. CPM 299. So that's really, really high for the micro. So you wouldn't pay that. As you can see, you're like, if you had a micro influencer asking for too much, you're like, you might actually say, you know what, I'm going to pay 185. And it comes down to £15, which is really great. I've had some super influencers got 1 million, and then you're paying 25 grand and it's less than that. So that's how you start to evaluate, go, oh, okay, that's the cost of the content really does marry up with evaluating a CPM when you put it into that context. So this is a really powerful grid when it comes to costing and the evaluation of it. There we go. So this is the 3 areas I've taken you through. Tremendous amounts of data. You can PDF this data, just download it, and I'm happy to download this and send it to anybody. Anybody with any question about each part of that, email me, call me. It's kind of just, there's a lot of information here, and I'm kind of chatting to the camera, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I can go through each of those. So that's that area. I've taken through the store itself, which is great. I want to show you a couple of case studies. New Balance, so New Balance work with us really, really closely. They started a few years ago where they had a limited stock campaign and they wanted to try out the checkout, and it worked really well. So this is trying my product in the marketplace they use, and they did an instant checkout on their social media and through their newsletter as well. And they ran this in Singapore. So we know all about New Balance. They wanted to increase sales from their paid campaigns on Instagram and Facebook, drive sales from influencer posts, go beyond brand awareness, i.e. revenue, and increase sales from their newsletter. So here, basically, what we did is we created a checkout. So there's a lot of information to read here, but ultimately, there are 12 pieces of exceptional content that was produced by local Singaporean-based Instagram influencers with bright, catchy, inspirational images. They had an email database of 15,000 customers, and Persola Instant Checkout was utilized to allow influencers to sell them new sneakers straight from their Instagram profiles. A well thought through combination of influencer content, which sparked the desire and influence, and Persola Instant Checkout technology has resulted in selling the 60% of all pre-sale stock in just 4 days. Huge success campaign, and later on New Balance integrated the checkout into their local website, which is great. So higher sales conversion rates from paid ads on social media, sales through influencers, higher sales conversion rates from the newsletter. Tremendous results of the campaign. 1.2 million reach, 100,000 likes, 60% stock sold in 4 days, 90% sales through conversion through newsletter, and 40% through influencers. Classic Instagram, beautiful and high quality creative content. That is one fantastic one. They're all great, actually. This is the Hunger Projects. It's a recent one we did, and it's actually for a charity. And this is an instant checkout on social media as well. Again, it's through the marketplace, so through our platform. They reached out and got influencers to reply to their brief, add the checkout, and create the content. And the results here is fantastic. And 1.6% reach, 187,000 likes, 3% sales conversion through influencers. I love this campaign. I love this t-shirt. I'm going to do one more case study for you, which is Uggs. Again, another try my product marketplace. Instant checkout, try my the marketplace, and they also use the affiliate commission rewards for influencers. So yeah, Uggs was really trying to increase their conversion and sales through social. And so they worked with us for that. They've worked with us ever since the last few years. And I just think that that's really powerful as well. We are talking with some really big brands who continuously work with us and integrate with the platform as well. Sunglasses Hut is another big one. We've got a tremendous amount of the smaller brands as well. The weak spot for Uggs original was quite common on the growing brands: poor presence in social media and lack of activity on pages, lack of quality content, collaborations and influencer partnerships, low sales conversions from social media, mostly Instagram, and low conversion rate through the website. So we did try my product marketplace, utilize an instant checkout platform with influencers, and for often their followers to buy Uggs boots at a super price of 100. So this is a huge success, which was great. Conversion rate 47%. Here we go. 7% conversion through influencers. 150% sales increase in low season. We get a lot of stats back from our clients. And we got permission obviously to share this. Beautiful content, faster and better buying experience. Great reach, great likes, strong comments, and like 9% average engagement, which is brilliant. And all the beautiful content. So that is today's demo. I can share from here any of the slides that may be relevant to you. I can create a checkout if you'd like to see one. Obviously, if you've got questions on how any of it works, let me know and I can share a PDF of the influencer. The way we work in anywhere in the world really does vary. I have clients who want to use a checkout in their display activity. I have other clients who are looking to, we're creating an API into their platform and they're pulling different parts of the post analyzer in. And they've got to check out a number of elements to it, so it really does vary. So agencies, brands, they all use us differently. The way to look at the platform itself is it's a stack, and you can utilize any element of it. Pricing is really straightforward. If you want to use any one part of the campaign or all of it for 1 month, it's $399, which today's exchange rate is roughly around £325. If you want to do an integration, it is like any development work. It's scoped out by the project. We look at your front and back end stack, and then we evaluate the cost thereafter. So there is a really affordable, easy entry to cost entry to bar cost entry tests on it, which is only the $325 per month. And then yeah, I think I've covered off a lot of it. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and that is it for today. Thank you.